Dave, we're going to chat for a little while, and I'm going to give him the stage, and he's going to go through what he feel he needs to go through in order to help as many people as possible. So we are going to add him to the stage now. How's it going, mate?
Hey, very good. Thanks for having me. It's good to be with you again, Funky.
No problem at all, mate. No problem at all. And it always makes me smile when we do these sort of live streams, because silver has been moving so fast recently, has it? It's been unstoppable, to be fair.
What you said then was absolutely right. But the main point I want to make is you're not too late. Some people might look at the chart, oh, I've missed it. You haven't. It's still early. It's still very early. It's got a long, long way to go. It's all because the manipulation is slowly coming to an end. Slowly.
That's true. And I'll tell you what, guys, before we get stuck into this, there's just a few things I'm going to show you on the screen to bring everyone up to speed. I use this platform, investing.com, and what we are seeing, if I can just check it over, this is what's been going down. It's crazy. Look at that, 90.9. It's going to go 91 whilst we're live. I can see it. It's crazy.
It'll be 100 very soon. Very soon it'll be 100.
It is. I agree, man. I mean, if you look in 5 years, right, silver has gone up 252% in 5 years. How many people have seen gains on anything in that? In 1 day, it's gone up 5%. In 1 week, 17%. In a month, 40%. It's almost doubled. Crazy. In 3 months, 80%. 6 months, 134%, and so on. It just goes back. It's just absolutely astonishing. We did see it touch on 92. Crazy. And within a week, it's just been rising. Within a month, it's been rising. It's just been rising all the time. And yes, every now and again, you do see little dips or corrections or pauses, whatever the market wants to call those. But generally speaking, we have been seeing absolutely massive gains. And the word around the campfire with what do you do, it's recommending strong buys. The technical indicators as a strong buy is no BS, people. They urgently expect people to buy lots, as much as they can, because if this doesn't tell you that the price is going to continue to go any higher, then nothing actually will. So that is what's been going down with that. Another thing before we get started is a good friend of mine, I believe is in the chat, Raf. I spoke to him. I used a company called Silver to Go before it went into the tax. That company's no longer here. He recommended that I don't use bullion by post, but he's recommended that I share this with you guys. Let me just see it. Here it is. It's a company called Chards. Okay, well established, well respected, and they've been in the business for a long, long time. Family-run business, and you can buy silver right now from this place. I'm not affiliated with Chards whatsoever. I'm not making any money from recommending them. It's just sound advice. After listening to my friend Raf explain to me how that business started and how honest and trustworthy, and yes, that's the sort of thing that I would recommend, that people, if they wanted to get into silver, fair play. Here is a 4/9's fine, if I can show it.
Maple leaf.
A maple leaf coin. Here it is. So that is apparently the purest form of silver you can buy. Brand new condition. Another thing as well, which was given to me when I was teaching survival courses, as my role as a survival instructor, I was kindly given one of these, and it's called a gold back. I don't know if it's coming in clear. There it is. A gold back that's actually got real gold inside it. Okay.
Well, the whole thing is real gold, isn't it?
It is. It's incredible.
Yes. And you get silver backs as well. You get just the same in silver. It's like a banknote made of silver and gold.
Oh, well, I didn't know you can get them in silver as well.
You can.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Just learned something. So, yeah, gold backs, a very good way to literally pass money, real money, from one person to another, anonymously, in privacy, and with freedom in mind. Because we all know where this vehicle of control is going, and none of us are aware or on board with it. So, without further ado, we're going to give Dave the stage, and I'm going to allow Dave peace of mind without interruptions to let us all know why silver, why now? Why has it been manipulated? How has it been manipulated? Why has it been so low for so long? Why is it going high right now? And is it going to go higher? All of these questions, I'm pretty sure Dave is fully competent to explain in any level of detail that he requires. Anytime you want me to jump in, just say, what do you think? And I'll jump straight in. So without further ado, we're going to give Dave the stage, if I can figure out how to do it, because it's been a long time since I've done this. It might be that one. No, it's not that one. No. Oh, I know. I need to remove myself. This is ridiculous. I don't know how to do it.
Just leave it like that. I guess. All right.
It's bizarre. I don't understand it. StreamYard has changed things, and it's a pain in the ass. Okay, then we're going to let it roll like that. Technology has not been my forte. So without further ado, Dave, tell us all things silver, mate.
Well, you showing that gold back there, that and the silver ones as well. I think you've got to compare gold and silver. They are the same.
Yeah.
Gold and silver are the same. And I think that the bankers try to separate them, They try and say, no, gold is money. Silver's an industrial element. It's an industrial metal. No, they're both money. Gold and silver are money in and of themselves. They both are. And they are both industrial metals as well. They're both used industrially. Gold, not as much as silver. Silver's used a lot more. It's like tens of thousands of uses for silver. But gold and silver are both used industrially. But the thing is about gold, because it's like nearly $5,000 per ounce, it is economic to recover it. So gold, it's no matter what industrial use it is, 90% or 99% of it is recovered. The opposite is true of silver. It's only $90 per ounce. Silver is never recovered from industry. So it's all been trashed away for so long now. And because of this, the two figures are to remember. All through history, 99% of all the gold ever mined through history is still in available supplies. And 99% of all the silver ever mined through history is no longer in available supplies. It's all been trashed away in industry. It's on landfill, it's in waste dumps, and it's all been used up, nuclear control rods. And that's incredible. When you think about that, all the gold pretty much ever mined through history is still in available supply. And nearly all the silver is not. And it's only recent times, only about 100 years ago. About 100 years ago, 1926, the big bullion vaults, the bank vaults, central bank vaults, were full up with both gold and silver, roughly half and half. Now, up until then, there wasn't a lot of silver used in industry. Photography, a few things it was got back. But in the last 100 years, as we know, humanity has rapid increase with technology and industry. So silver has been getting used more than it's been mined, whereas gold's in surplus. Gold, every year, it just stacks up and up and up and up. Silver is in deficit. Demand is more than supply. So the big vaults full of gold and silver, the silver has slowly been going down, and it's ending up on landfill. It's been slowly going down and down and down. And because gold's in deficit, the space that used to be full up with silver is filled up with even more gold. And that's happened for 100 years. And of course, the last few decades, it's really picked up pace to a massive extent. Now we're in such an electrified world, and silver's got tens of thousands of uses in industry. So all this space that used to be full up with silver is emptied and is filled up with even more gold. All the central banks now, all the big bullion vaults are completely full up with gold. There's hardly any silver left. There's hardly anything left at all. We're right down to like 1% of the silver mined through history is still in available supply. But the problem is bankers have been selling paper and digital promises of silver, going short, and the big mints, the Perth Mint and others, they've been selling huge amounts of silver that they haven't got. So there's a lot of investment demand. People want to buy silver. Even big hedge funds, big funds want to buy silver. And they want to invest with one of these companies, one of these institutions. And they don't take possession of silver. All they do is they give the funds over, sometimes huge amounts, and then they get a paper or digital receipt. And they've been doing that for a long time now, since a very low price. And now the price is going up and up and up. These people who are short silver are in big, big trouble. They've got to go into the market and buy this silver now. It's $90 a day. There's not enough silver left in available supply to cover all the shorts. It's a massive short position. So everyone's wondering what is going to happen. You know, there's all these big shorts. We don't know who they are now. It used to be JP Morgan. Before that, it was Bear Stearns. They collapsed. JP Morgan took on this huge, we call it the silver short hot potato. Somebody's got to hold it. Either they cover, they go and buy that much silver, or they pass it on. They've actually grown it. It's got larger. And I think they've passed it on to a few of the European banks now and other banks. HSBC, Wells Fargo, Citibank, Bank of America. There's a few other banks that are holding this. Now they've got to go and buy enough silver to cover their shorts at this higher price. So there's massive demand from that. And of course, the investment demand from small people like us. You know, there's huge demand now, even from pizza delivery, you know, cleaners, caretakers, shop worker, and in the mid-level, you know, doctors, lawyers. There's a story going around, you can look this up, of a doctor going and queuing up to buy silver in his doctor's uniform. And there's other stories like that. People are just, they hear something on the financial news, wow, silver's going up that much. They're in a hurry, they go and queue up for it. Now, there's not really any queues in Britain yet, but America, apparently there are, and in Asia, massive demand. There's 5-hour lines to buy silver. And one of the bankers' spokesmen, his name's Jeffrey Christian, his job is to try and tamp down interest in silver. Don't buy silver. He's always bearish. It's not going up. There's plenty of silver, he says. And someone asked him about the 5-hour lines around the bullion dealerships. And he said, yeah, most of those people are selling. That's what he said. It's laughable. The amount of people selling is very small. Only if they absolutely have to, because they know the price is going to be higher. Those 5-hour lines are people buying. So demand is outstripping supply. And of course, prices are going up. In Asia, the price is way higher than the West. The price just keeps going up. Demand from an investment point of view will continue to go up, and the price will continue to go up. So that's the main thing. You're not late. Don't think I've missed it. I've only got a bit of silver. I wish I got more. You're still early. And I know it's hard. Charge is a good option. They're often sold out or not much stock. You know, a lot of people are putting large amounts in. They're liquidating some investments, or there's the long queues, the long lines. So my wife at the moment is in Japan. She's in Tokyo at the moment, looking after her elderly father. And she's telling me the demand is crazy and the price is crazy. It's almost twice the West price. Well, $90 in the West, and it's $140 in the East now. So there's an arbitrage there. Opportunity. If somebody wanted to buy silver in the West, America, Europe, they say the price is like $90, $91. Well, that's far too low. If you could pay for the transportation and get it to the East, you can sell it for $140. It's all the silver is flowing from West to East. The problem is, it's very hard to get now in quantity. It's very, very difficult to get. And there's this one billionaire who, it's well worth looking him up. His name is David Bateman. He's called the Dark Knight of Silver. You can look him up. And he is a billionaire who's open about, he's buying a lot of silver. Like, we're talking billions of ounces of silver. And he's done that. And he's not taken a paper or digital promise. He has to have the real silver. And he did it. He took possession of it. It was hard for him. And he took pictures of it, and he put the pictures online, put them on X. This is what, and he said, I'm not stopping. I'm continuing to buy. The first lot he bought was probably about half the price of what it is today. And he's made a lot of profit on it, but it's still going up. And he's still buying. Sorry, I mean, the amount he wants to liquidate other assets, and I think other billionaires will follow. You got the billionaires, and you got the millionaires, loads of millionaires in Dubai, the wealthy countries in the Middle East. They're desperate, try and stampede to buy silver. And then you've got just the like normal upper class people with hundreds of thousands of pounds, dollars, euros. They want that to flow in. They're selling houses, selling second homes, selling properties. I want to put it all into silver. And then you've got down here people like me. I'm a pest controller, professional trapper. I'm just buying little bits at a time. And that's what I want to show people, even small amounts like this. This is just a 2.5 grams. That's 2.5 grams. And these are 1 gram, 2.5 gram, 1 gram. And then I've got some little half gram ones here. You see the thickness of it. The half gram ones are about same size, but half the thickness. And there's a big community in Wales now, all trading using silver grams. Don't use promissory notes, cash, Bank of England promissory notes. Don't use digital, nothing like Bitcoin or anything like that. This is private and anonymous. It's truly decentralized, unlike Bitcoin. And this is real money. And I think the best advice I could give right now is do your best to, whatever you can, try and buy every month. Even if you can only buy small amounts like this. This is all I can buy. Small amounts often. And I know a lot of people say, I can't, I'm struggling with my bills, struggling with housing costs. They've got no more savings left. If you've got any savings left, definitely put that into silver now. If you haven't, think about this. Could you look at your monthly income, whatever your total income is? Let's just say for easy figures, it's £1,000 total income. Now you pay yourself first. You put 10% of that, say put £100 or 10% of whatever your total monthly income is. 10% of that every month into physical silver bullion. Then after that, you pay your housing costs, your food, your clothes. And if there's not enough left to pay your bills, well, you can't pay it. And a lot of people just, they can't pay it now. You've got to prioritize, put the most important things first, pay yourself first. We know the whole country's going to pot. It's all going crazy. And a lot of people can't afford the cost of living. But make sure you pay yourself first. Priority. And I think if you can, mark my words, if you can buy silver every month for the next 6 months, just say 6 months, you'll be very happy you did. I'm not saying it's only going to go up for 6 months. I think it'll go up for a lot longer yet. But nobody can say, look, I can't afford to buy any silver. You can. You might have to make some sacrifices. You might have to do some overtime. You might have to sell some things. But everybody, please, it's not too late. It's early. And you've got a gift now. This month, you can buy it under $100. It'll be way over $100 next month. I think the smaller, the higher the price goes, the smaller amounts you'll buy. At the moment, you can buy 100-gram bars or something. It's like, or you might be able to buy ounces. An ounce is a lot of silver. As the price goes up, in 6 months' time, you'll only be buying little small amounts like this with 10% of your income, because the price is still going up. And it will continue to go. So that's investment monetary demand. Both gold and silver are money in and of themselves. And I think all the promissory notes are going to keep going down. That's bank notes I'm talking about. 5, 10s, 20s, and 50s or digital. That will keep going down in value, purchasing power. And this stuff will keep going up in purchasing power. So if you can, try and buy every month. That's monetary investment demand. Demand will go up. Now, when it comes to industrial demand, it is absolutely shooting through the roof. And I'll talk about a couple of examples. This green agenda, we know it's all nonsense. The Agenda 2030, they say transition away from fossil fuels. You know, they want to get away from coal, oil, shale, natural gas, fossil fuels. They want to slow down or even stop. I don't think that's possible. But they want to reduce the amount of those being used on Earth. And they want to go to clean renewable, solar, wind, hydroelectric, nuclear. They say how wonderful it is. All of these need a lot of silver. And the numbers are absolutely mind-boggling. In 2025, the world produce another 1 terawatt of solar panels. And there's only 2.6 terawatts of solar panels ever produced in history. It was 2 terawatts total solar panels that had been produced up until 2024. 2024, they made 0.6 terawatts of solar panels. 2025, they made about 1 terawatt. And 2026, projected this year, they want to make 1.4, 1.5 terawatts of solar panels. And that uses like more than half of mine's supply. It's hard to get your head around, but more than half of mine's supply goes to just renewable energy. The solar panels, the wind turbines, hydroelectric, and nuclear. Now, let's talk about nuclear for a minute, because silver's got all these amazing qualities. One of the qualities is it's incredible at absorbing nuclear radiation. So anything to do with nuclear, they use up a lot of silver. Anything nuclear. All nuclear reactors. Battleships, submarines, small nuclear reactors, big nuclear power stations. They have these big control rods. They're 80% silver. 80% silver and 20% other, it's an alloy of other metals. There's tens of thousands of ounces because they're huge, big, thick rods of silver, very heavy, very long, and there's big assemblies of them. That is the break of the nuclear reactor. That goes into the nuclear reactor. That controls the nuclear reaction. They need a lot of silver. Now, it lasts 5 years. After 5 years, roughly, might be 6, 7, might be 4, they become so heavily radioactive that it's got to be just discarded. And that's been happening since the 1950s. So since the 1950s, they've been chucking all this silver into high-level nuclear waste. I don't know the figures, nobody knows really, but it's a lot of silver. This is why 98, 99% of all silver ever mined is no longer in available supply. So nuclear is increasing, and they're building so many nuclear power stations. There's some there's some of these new data centers that have such a massive drain on electricity. They're building 2 new nuclear reactors, 2 like basically power stations, just to provide power for the data center. Think how much silver that is going to require. You can't have nuclear power without using up a lot of silver. Every 5 years, the nuclear control rods need to be replaced. Use up loads of silver. Now the data centers are using so much silver. All these new little chips, the advanced AI chips. I'm no computer expert, but I do know they use a lot of silver. These little tiny data chips, the circuit boards, all the electronics, basically, all the connections, it needs a lot of silver in very tiny amounts. All the connections, they need silver. It's the best conductor of electricity. Now, roughly every 18 months or so, technology doubles when it comes to this sort of thing. The old chips, they're obsolete now. Like the old graphics cards, the old technology, they've got a new one, more powerful now. They rip out the old one, chuck it on landfill, and put a new, more powerful one in. 18 months later, they rip out that one, chuck it on landfill, put a new one in. It's not economic to get the silver back. They've been doing this for decades. It's all ending up on landfill. They're treating silver just like it's a cheap, plentiful plastic. It's so cheap, just trash it away on landfill. 99% of all silver ever mined for history is no longer in available supply. It's just been trashed away like it's very plentiful, like it's cheap plastic. So the rise of the data centers is astronomical. If you look at the figures, look at the charts, only the last 10 years, the amount of data centers rising in size, power, and electricity consumption. Just at a time when they want to go for this green new agenda, let's get away from fossil fuels. Oh, let's increase nuclear. Let's increase solar. Where's the silver going to come from? The demand for silver is absolutely massive. And it's only going up. Demand from investors for money is going up. Demand from industry is really going up. And finally, on the industry part, I want to talk about the solid state batteries. Now, there's been an incredible breakthrough with solid state batteries. Samsung was the first one to have the breakthrough. And they achieved this solid state battery now. It's proven technology, it works, it's amazing. You can charge your car, I think, they say 10 minutes or less, isn't it? Or 5 minutes from 20% to 80%, less than it takes to fill a big tank of petrol or diesel. That's how good solid state batteries are. And they haven't got the fire problem. They won't go on fire like lithium ion. They haven't got the temperature problem. They're good with long temperatures, with different temperatures, and the lifespan is incredible. Apparently, it's 100,000 charge-discharge cycles. Well, that's like 100 years if you charge it 1,000 times a year. It's probably way more than 100 years. It's 120 years, more than a lifetime, probably 2 lifetimes. This Samsung technology is amazing. So the silver consumption in each electric car is said to be about 1 kilo. Roughly 1 kilo for a car. They said 1.5 kilo for a large van, small lorry, 2 kilos for a big truck or a bus type thing. And then for an e-bike, like half a kilo, or a motorbike about half a kilo, a little e-bike, 250 grams, something like that. The demand is enormous. Now, there's been a large controversy about this because everyone said, people are realizing, well, if each electric vehicle is going to need 1 kilo in the battery, and there's another few ounces in all the electronics around the car. You're right, Funky, you said Elon Musk has said, this is a big problem. Silver price is going up. And I think people are just realizing there's not enough silver left. There's not enough left. And there's a controversy about the batteries. There's this one company called Donut Batteries from Netherlands, I think it is. And they've come out at the CES Consumer Electronics Show this year in Las Vegas, only a couple of days ago. And they said, we've developed a solid-state battery. It's got all the advantages of the silver battery, but we don't need to use so much silver and copper. That's what they're claiming. Now, they've claimed we can achieve the results of all the big manufacturers who are making a 1 kilo silver solid-state battery. But we can do it without using these materials. And they got loads of investors interested. And I tell you what, they were lying. They were absolutely lying. I can prove it. They are lying. Their technology isn't what they say it is. They're definitely lying. They made up this lie to just get a load of investors in. And I've heard someone else who really knows about this now who said, you cannot achieve those results of the solid-state battery without using about 1 kilo of silver. I'm sure they'll get it down a bit. As the price goes up, they'll really treat silver as precious, and they might try and reduce the amount. But you cannot make this battery without a lot of silver. You can't. So it's a massive problem. And they lied. They said, we've got this. We've achieved a solid-state battery with those results without using so much silver. That is a lie. And I think a lot of people are calling out Donut Labs now. Your claims are not true. But I believe Samsung, all the big manufacturers, BYD, Toyota, Honda, all these, they're looking into the solid-state batteries. But I know if the price of silver goes up so much, is it going to make it too expensive to use in these technologies? Well, I heard someone say that maybe you'll have the option of, look, you can buy this electric car. You've got the old lithium-ion battery. You've got the fire risk. Hasn't got a very long lifespan and not very good range. Takes a long time to charge, but it's cheap. Or you've got the solid-state battery. It is very, very, very expensive. I know silver price is going up, but you've got the lifespan. It's going to last 100 years. You can charge it so fast that the car can do 900 miles compared to like 200 miles with the lithium-ion. So the technology is absolutely amazing. It cannot be replaced. Silver can't be replaced. They tried making solid state with just copper. You haven't got the same electrical conductivity. Because the 5 or 6 main properties of silver. Number 1, it's the best electrical conductor of any element on the periodic table. By far. Copper's number 2, then gold. Gold scores about 30. Copper scores about 70. Silver scores perfect 100. It's the best electrical conductor of any element. It's also got the best thermal conductivity. And this is needed with lots of technologies now. The best conductor of heat. It's also the most reflective element on the periodic table. By far. This is needed with all the laser technologies. Loads of cool technologies coming out. The best light reflectivity. It's also the best acoustic conductivity, or the best acoustic metal. This is needed for all the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, radio waves, the frequency technologies, and there's a lot of secret military stuff going on. They're using up a lot of silver. I've heard from someone who signed the Official Secrets Act, and he's dead now, actually. But he worked for the Atomic Energy Commission. He wrote a book, and he's made some amazing claims in this book. The experiments they used to do with silver, it's a miracle metal. It's amazing what it can do. There's loads of others. It's also a good catalyst for ethylene oxide. You need it for nuclear radiation absorption, breaks the nuclear reactor. I could go on. There's tens of thousands of uses for silver. And this is an interesting fact. There's more patents filed for new uses of silver than all other metals combined. That's how amazing this substance is. It's irreplaceable. And this is why demand is going through the roof. Demand from industry is absolutely skyrocketing. The last few decades, humanity's progress, technical progress is, but now 2020s, it's just shooting up like that, isn't it? The robotics, this CES now, Las Vegas. I went to the one last year, by the way, 2025. It was in Osaka, Japan, and I thought this is so amazing. It's unbelievable, the technology. But now, in 1 year, 2026, the robots, they're basically androids, and they're fighting each other. I thought it was all AI, but it's not. This is real. This humans. These robots, the dexterity, they can iron clothes, fold clothes, do little jobs like this. And the advancement in robotics, that uses a lot of silver. It's the most electrical conductor. You cannot have this advanced technology. Basically speaking, the more advanced humanity gets, the more silver is consumed. It's used up just like oil is used up. It's used up, ends up on landfill. So gold is economic to recover from landfill, from waste. It's $5,000 an ounce. It costs about the same to recover an ounce of gold or an ounce of silver from landfill. The costs are the same, the process is the same, but pretty much every single little electronic item with an LED light in it, an LED connection, circuit boards, electrical connections, they've got tiny amounts of silver, tiny, the size of a full stop in a book, that amount of silver in these electrical connections. Now you have to go through tens of tons, I think, to get just like a couple of grams of silver back from that. It is not economic to retrieve. Not until the price goes up to, at the moment, like gold is economic to retrieve, about just under $5,000 per ounce. So I think once silver goes up to just under $5,000 an ounce, finally it will be economic to retrieve from landfill. It has to go up that much. And I don't think it'll be a problem where some people have said, well, when it goes up that much, we're not going to be able to have all this electronics. We're not going to have consumer electronics like kitchen appliances, electric cars, electric this, electric that, cell phones. I think we will. We'll still have those things, but they will be priced very, very highly because these things can't be made without silver. You can try and reduce it. They call it thrifting. As the price goes up, they're going to try and not treat this like a cheap, plentiful plastic like it's been treated for decades. The price is going back up to where it should be now. They're going to really treat it as a precious, very rare element. But you can't make these things without silver. They're still going to be made, but we won't be a throwaway society anymore. I think that's the world we're going into. You can't just have a new cell phone every couple of years or every year in some cases, which is ridiculous. The silver in that cell phone is going to be very, very highly valued. You're going to make it last. So I think these companies like Apple, Tesla, BYD, the share price is going to go down a long way because silver's going up. They're going to be able to make and sell less products. They still need silver. It's essential. It can't be replaced. There's going to be less electric cars sold, and they're going to be very, very expensive. Less laptops, TVs will be sold because all these things need silver. And this criticism I've had a group of trolls really say to me that their argument didn't make any sense. So you're saying take silver off the market and hoard it like a Scrooge McDuck, is what they said to me. But then we won't have any cell phones, any cars, any TVs, all these other electrical things. It doesn't make any sense what they're saying. I'm saying if you care about our beautiful Mother Earth, save silver now. Take silver out of available supply to stop these cunning men trashing it away like it's cheap plastic, chuck it on landfill, make another one, chuck it on landfill, just trash it away. I'm saying we're going to run out. The shortages are happening now. There's quite extreme shortages around the world. They're going to get more and more extreme. What you can do to help our beautiful Mother Earth is take real silver out of the hands of the cunning men, the bankers, the industrial conglomerates. Take silver out of their hands. Drain the beast. This is the people's money. The more of this we can get in the people's hands, the less they can trash it away. In data centers, in nuclear control rods, in solar panels. They're covering all this really amazing agricultural land in solar panels, leaking chemicals into our earth. It's ridiculous. And we can moan about it, but what can you do? Well, there's a very wise man called Chris Duane in America. He goes by Silver Shield. I collect a lot of his coins. He makes different coins. And he has come up with some very wise things. He came up with the silver bullet and the silver shield. And he said, taking silver out of available supply now is a silver shield to protect yourself. To protect yourself and your family against inflation, against the banks playing all their games. You protect yourself. It's a silver shield to protect yourself. But it's also a silver bullet to the cunning men who are causing so many problems in the world. It's a non-violent protest. You don't have to picket and riot and march. You don't have to. All you need to do is take silver out of available supply. This is the best act of rebellion. This is how you fight the bankers. You take real silver out of available supply. And don't be confused. Don't make the mistake of buying paper or digital illusions of silver. Sometimes someone wants to buy silver, they're new to it, and they go on one of these websites, Bullion by Post, one of these, and they see the price of, oh, I want to buy this bar. It's very, very expensive, and I got to pay delivery, insurance. I've got to think about storing it. There's an option here. I can keep it in storage there, and it's a lot cheaper. And then they'll get this paper or digital receipt. Don't do that. They're selling hundreds of these for every 1 ounce that they've got, and you're not going to drain the supply. If you're taking paper or digital receipt, you're not taking silver out of available supply. What we want to do all around the world, it's happening in Asia, in the East, it's happening in lots of places around the world. We need to take silver out of available supply and drain the beast. Now, a lot of questions I get about this now. If you don't want to buy a paper or digital illusion of silver, they say it's in a vault somewhere for you with your name on it, but they're lying. It's not. They've sold that same silver to loads of other people. So if you do take possession, isn't that dangerous to keep it at home? Yes, it is. I think there could be government confiscation, or they could, we don't know. Lots of reasons. Chris Duane came up with the 2 rules of silver investing. He said, never at home and never in a third-party vault or storage. Never, ever in a safety deposit box at a hotel or bank or something like that. So where do you store it? You think like a pirate. Chris Duane says, bury it several different caches. Don't have it all in one place. Don't have it in a couple of places. Spread it out and keep a really careful record of it. Use the My 3 Words app, or get the latitude, longitude, make a note of them, give it to loved ones. And in my caches, I have survival supplies, a good knife, survival things as well. And that's what you do. You don't keep silver at home. Don't put it back into the system. You want to take silver out of available supply and keep it for a long term, because we're talking about years here. The silver price is going to keep going up for years. So take it out of available supply, drain the banks, and keep it off the market. And just keep doing it. I think very soon, 10% of your income, you might be able to buy an ounce a month now. Very soon it'll be half an ounce, and then it will be just little bars like this, tiny little half-gram bars. These are half-gram bars. And even that, that's going to be a lot of money soon. Because finally, Funky, and then I'll come back to you, the true value of silver, a lot of people ask that question. So if the manipulation ends, the bankers stop pushing the price of silver down so it can be trashed away in industry so cheaply. Well, what is the unmanipulated value of silver? If silver was freely manipulated, no manipulation, what is the true value of silver? Well, we've got thousands of years history that can be confirmed to tell us the answer to that question. 3.1 grams of silver is worth a 12-hour day's wage. 12 hours of labor. So this is 2 grams, and these are 1 gram. So imagine, this is 2.5 grams, and one of these, and 3.5 grams. That is 12 hours labor. So a whole ounce, troy ounce now, is 31.1 grams. That is 10 days labor. But if you have the weekends off, 5-day working week, is 2 weeks. 1 ounce is 2 weeks wages. 2 ounces for 4 weeks, about a month. 2 ounces is a month. With that, you can pay your housing costs, your food, a bit of fun from time to time, all your essential expenses. That is the true value of silver. And going by that true value, 20 kilos works out 20 years' wages. That's what it works out. True value, 1 kilo of silver is 1 year's wages. That was true for thousands of years. That we've got the history, we can prove that. That is the true value of silver when the manipulation ends. Take fiat currency out of it, that'll be gone. Forget about dollars, pounds, euros, that is temporary. Silver is forever. That is the true value. Back in ancient Greece, it was called the drachma. 3.1 grams, a little coin about the size of a penny. A drachma was 12 hours, 1 day's labor. It's true value. And then after ancient Greece was dominant world power, Rome, for a long time Rome was the dominant world power, it was called a denarius. Once again, 3.1 grams was about the size of a little penny. That's 12 hours day's wage. And use copper for smaller purchases. I mean, it's a lot of money, isn't it? 3.1 grams is a lot of wealth right there. You use copper for small purchases. Copper is very plentiful compared to silver. But a Roman soldier would do 12 hours marching or 12 hours training, hand-to-hand combat. He would be paid 3.1 grams of silver for 1 day. And that's enough for him to pay all of his expenses, his family. So that answers the question, what is the true value of silver when the manipulation ends? But I think it could overshoot on the correction. What do you think?
So. I think so too, mate. We are going to see, obviously, the price rise. And every now and again, we're going to see it fall back sharply. And it's really weird because when I've been monitoring silver, like yourself, and no doubt the viewers have as well, within the last month or so, you can tell the new people to it. You know, it was like, oh my God, it's just gone down like bloody like two pence or something. Oh my God, it's going to crash. And I'm thinking, just chill, man. Just chill. It's a rough ride. It's a rough
like 4 or 5 steps up, 1 or 2 back. 4 or 5 steps up, 1 or 2 back. And you're going to get the 1 or 2 back. If you can time your purchases in the 1 or 2 or 3 steps down, that's great if you can time it there. But it doesn't really make much difference. The price you pay at the dealership, you can say, look, the spot price has fallen this couple of steps. But they don't lower their price of what they sell you because the demand is so high.
Exactly. Look, you're going to get ups and downs and stuff. But when you look at it, to say for a year, you know, these little tiny dips are marginal compared to the gains that you're seeing on your return. And it's only, I highly doubt that you're going to see this drop to say 40. I very, very much doubt it. In fact, I would probably go as far as to say as 70 would be the new base rate for it now. I can't see it going below 70 again. And that's conservative too.
There's a difference between what the price you're showing there and the price you can actually take hold of real silver. You know, if you're buying a paper digital illusion of silver, that's the price you'll pay, and that's what you're supposed to get when you sell.
That's right.
The price, there's a disconnect now. Real silver, the disconnect is going up more than the paper price. It's happening in Asia, in the East, and in the West. Like you could never ever buy real silver for that price. They call it a premium, you know, to buy the real silver. And the disconnect is getting larger. So even if the paper price goes down, because let's be honest, the criminal bankers can type in any number they want.
Yeah.
They could set
credit out.
They could set the price to minus number. You know, they did that to oil once. They set the price to minus $40 for oil.
I know. Ridiculous. I thought that's not going to last.
Well, they could do that for silver. They could type in, they're still in control of it. They could type, I want to set the price to $70. And they could do that. And officially, that is the spot price. But you're never going to be able to buy silver. The price of real silver will probably go up. The disconnect will get even bigger.
You see that on the screen? It says, don't sell your silver until the last banker has jumped from the roof of the bank. I should have had a T-shirt. Total nutter. Well, I'll tell you what, whilst Dave was talking there, I popped up on the screen. And there's 7 questions for you, Dave.
Go for it.
So I've starred them so it's easy to find. These are pretty much in order. I wouldn't know how to answer this one. It's a bit odd. It says, Dave, how much is graphene used now instead of silver in manufacturing, or is this wrong think?
No, it's good. Very good question. I think graphene, it's not an element in the periodic table. It's a substance that's made from well, it's very, very expensive to make it. I've heard it's like, I think it's $10,000 per ounce to make it. It might be less than that now, but it's very expensive to make it. because it's very light. An ounce of it is massive, you know, because it's very lightweight. But it is
I've got an example of it here.
Is that graphene?
This, not all of it.
Because that's worth a lot if it is.
I know. Well, the thing is, this is it's not officially been like publicly released, so I don't mind. Yeah, this is from a company called Lifesaver that does water filters.
Oh yeah.
And this is wrapped, sealed on the shelf for 10 years, and it's the only one out there which has got graphene in it.
And that kills bacteria like silver?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's incredible. Yeah. It's
graphene
one of
the nearest
water filters.
I mean, silver is such an incredible element of the periodic table, but graphene made from carbon, that is the closest to the special properties of silver. That's the closest thing, isn't it?
Pretty much.
In the future, maybe some of the uses of silver could be replaced with graphene.
Yeah.
But it's very, very
depends on availability, like it always is, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for Chicken Pig for that one. And we got the Beefy Farmer. It says, question, why has Dave stopped making videos?
Well, my channel got taken down. I don't know the reason. I just got a notice I've breached some community somewhere. I obviously somebody didn't like something I said. I don't know what it was, but my channel got taken down. So I've started another one now. Level 50 Prepper. You can find me there, but I'm just starting again from scratch.
Yeah. And I've put a link to David's new YouTube channel underneath this video in the description box. And after about 10 minutes after this live stream is finished, I'm going to pin the link to David's YouTube channel in the comments as well, so everyone can find it easy. So he hasn't stopped making videos. He just got banned for talking about silver. So
I'll carry on. I'm not going to stop.
This one, exactly, mate. No, you're doing a good thing for sure. This one is a very, very serious question, actually. I don't know how you're going to answer it, but we'll see what you think of this one.
I can't really see it. Can you read it, sir?
It says, do silver bullets work on zombies as well as vampires?
So they say, yeah.
That's Raph. What do you like, dude?
Does it work on bankers? I wonder.
Only one way to find out. Let's start getting some bullet molds. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. And do you know what? Someone asked me this a few months ago, and I couldn't answer it. I know it's happened with gold, but I'll read it to you. It says, in times of war, can the government come and take it away because they need it? Confiscation.
They have done, yeah.
Yeah.
In my grandfather's time, they did that. In America and Europe, Western Europe, they confiscated gold and silver. And my grandfather told my father, only the very foolish people handed it over.
Yeah.
If you've got physical, then it's private and anonymous. It is anonymous. So you could have lost it, you know. So yeah, it could well do. I think the shortages are so severe and demand is going up. They're going to say those greedy silver hoarders, they got to, come on, you've got to hand over your silver. You've got to sell it now.
Yeah, they can go and do one, mate.
Never sell.
No. I mean, the way I am in my core, you know, I didn't tell people in the post office what was in my parcels. It's none of their business. All I said was, there's nothing on your restricted items list. What's in that box? It's private. It's none of your business. And I walked out of a lot of post offices, and I walked into some, and they were fine. You know, so as long as you stand your ground, as long as you don't get scared or threatened by it, all you have to do is say, I used to have silver a long, long time ago, and I got so skint because Tom's have been hard, I just swapped it for food, and it's all gone now. And that's all you got to pay. Simple as that.
Yep. And I don't want to lie.
On this earth, they're going to bloody get me to hand over my silver. They can absolutely do one, mate.
But you can tell the truth. I haven't got it anymore. I lost it, you know. You might find it again, and if you might find your caches, your survival caches, you might not. It's none of their business. So
yeah, the question was can they take it? And yes, they probably could, but it's up to you whether you want to give it to them or not. So
don't be foolish.
The basic rule of thumb is, if you are holding more than, say, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these, it's probably advisable to store them away from your property, just in case you got a random knock on a door by the police, like I did. It does happen. And I'm here to tell you, it happened to me. So if it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone. The police could knock on your door for any reason at any time. And if they get a warrant or they just don't care and come in anyway, you got to stop them. There's tasers. You're just going to let them in. I don't care how big and clever you think you are. You're going to let them in. They're going to search the place. They're going to find it. They're going to take it. So the best thing to do is don't keep it at your property. I remember, Dave, you were saying, I think it was your granddad or something years ago, like you said, used to hide it outside of the property. And that's another thing. In fact, someone said earlier in the comments, they said, what's the point of burying it? They're going to use a metal detector. Well, use your brain. Do you have to bury it? Can you put it upside somewhere? You have to be creative. You have to use your freaking brain. We've all got a brain. You know, most of us have let it turn to mush because we've believed in all of the BS. You start forgetting all of that, using your brain. You can actually think. So, you know, don't
what
fall
Chris
apart.
Green says about that. Find somewhere like not obvious at all, but out the way, and plant something fast growing on top of it. If you go into the bush and there's all brambles and weeds there, you're gonna, when you dig a hole, put those back over it and it'll grow again. You can't metal detect it unless you clear that area first. You're going to slash it all down. Nobody's going to do that.
Exactly. It makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? So get some gorse.
Yep.
Another question we've got is question. This is from Scotty Boy. Looks like Beach Up Man, but I don't know. Anyway, it says, at what silver price will they scrap the current energy process and revert to other methods such as alkaline fuel cells or back to fossil fuels? So at what silver price will they scrap the current energy process and revert back to other
question. That is a very thought-provoking question because they can't go to fossil fuels. All the countries have agreed to this. Let's stop. You know, we know it's all nonsense, but they said we're going to transition away from fossil fuels. Even those other ones, pretty much all the alternatives need silver and copper. They need it.
Yeah.
And they're not going to scrap it. As the price goes up, they're still going to make solar panels, but they're going to be very, very expensive. And they're going to try and thrift it. They're going to try and reduce the amount. At the moment, they're just trashing silver away so plentiful. Loads goes into waste. And loads is just used up. They just, because it's so cheap. When it becomes very, very expensive in the next year or so, they'll thrift it. They'll only use it when they need to, and they'll treat it precious. But no matter what the price goes to, they're still going to make solar panels. They're still going to make wind turbines.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of recycling and refineries as well. So any old scrap silver, you're going to see lots of little businesses starting up over the next 10 years with that as well. So we've got another one.
Good.
Yeah, for sure. It says, Dave, what are the pros and cons of buying in Europe, e.g. Slovakia or indeed Poland?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no VAT over there, isn't there? This is a big subject. But if you buy it over there, if you want to get it to the UK, you have to pay the 20% VAT plus a 6% handling charge, customs. You know, some people might smuggle it. I wouldn't think you'd get away with that. But any silver that gets into the UK is suddenly worth 20% more. Because you can buy it VAT-free in some of those countries, or lower VAT. It's 20% in the UK. Once it's inside UK borders, it's worth 20% more. The VAT on it as well.
I mean, I've heard stories. Now, I don't know if these are true. It's just what I've heard. I've heard people going abroad, wherever it is, buying silver and posting it back to the UK. But I think what I heard was they've had coins, you know, maybe tiny little bars like you showed earlier, and they've just been hiding it in a box with, I don't know, fishing tackle or a box of nails or screws and posting that back in the box. And when they get it home, they take it out and then bosh, they've got loads of silver over here and they haven't paid any tax. It's just what I've heard. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if many people do it or anyone does it at all. It's just something I heard. So the pros and cons.
And by 20% less. That's good.
Well, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, is there going to be a moment in time in the future where the government would contact you and say, we know you've got silver. You need to prove to us where you bought it from. So you have to pay tax or whatever it is. So if you did smuggle stuff over and you couldn't prove that you got it over here, then straight away, they're going to try and make you pay that 20%, maybe more as we go through. It might be 30% in a couple of years. Who knows? But the pros and cons, I would say, if you're going to buy in Europe, stay in Europe. I already know there's loads of people leaving the UK en masse right now. there's more millionaires have left than any time in human history. Billionaires, there's 10 billionaires left in the last 3 years out of the UK, never coming back, all because of the stupid, ridiculous, controlling, micromanageable bloody tax laws that we got over here. So I don't blame people for doing what they need to do, because when you see back in history, every single time that there's been an empire fall, it's always started with high taxation, and that's what we're seeing now. Anyway, I digress. So pros and cons finally, Dave, in Europe.
Yeah, if you can buy it over there, getting it back, you'd either pay 20% to get it in the country or try and find a way to get it back into the UK, or leave it in that. Yeah, you can buy it 20% cheaper in Poland and those other places.
Yeah, so there are pros and cons then.
Yeah, there are, yeah. And
another one, I think this is the last one at the moment until there's more that have been posted probably. My question is, how much more there are silver coins than gold coins in circulation? So that's a hard one to...
I don't know about coins, but in general, gold is very, very plentiful now. All the big vaults are full up with gold. Silver's almost all gone. The two things to remember are 99% of all gold mined through history is still in available supply. 99% of all silver mined through history is no longer in available supply. The only 1% of gold has been lost if it's been used in industry and not recovered for some reason, even though it is economic to recover it. Or maybe shipwrecks, it's been buried and forgotten about. Very small amount, and that's being recovered all the time. Pretty much all the gold is in surplus. Pretty much all the silver has gone, pretty much. It's in landfill.
I agree, mate. I agree. Because, with the rise of the BRICS countries in the last few years, lots of their new currency, which they're pledging towards, is going to be backed by physical gold. Now, lots of G7 countries now are really trying their best to make sure that they're not going to lose out. I saw something earlier, and the amount of countries abroad, the amount of gold that they've got in their reserves is insane. Totally insane. I've been to jewelry shops and I've seen lots of gold in there. Gold's everywhere, like you said.
And I think it's way more plentiful than they tell us. The official figures are 200,000 tons is all that's been mined in all of history. That's nonsense. That's what they want you to believe. It's probably 10 times that. I don't know. There's a couple of experts say it could be 2 million tons. We don't know. But gold lasts forever. It doesn't corrode. If you've got gold in your wedding ring, that could have been from ancient Egypt 6,000 years ago, or it could have been mined last year. It doesn't corrode. It lasts forever, which is actually very bearish. People think, I like gold's investment because it doesn't corrode. It lasts. But actually, that means it's very, very plentiful. Silver doesn't last thousands of years. All the silver from ancient Egypt, there are artifacts of silver from thousands of years ago. It's all brittle now and it's corroded. And it's like it's leached away into the air and the soil. You can see in the British Museum, lots of these silver vases.
Yeah, that's a really interesting point you make there, mate, because I was just thinking, when the Iraq war started, 2003, I was contracting work out in the Middle East. Now, for a stopover, we went to Dubai. And when I went for a little walk around there, the amount of gold there is just insane. And it's all 24 karat pure gold. So when you look at the gold, we got over like 9 karat, maybe 18 karat. I think it's like nickel and stuff like that in there.
Yep.
So when you go to a place like India and the Middle East, you get pure 24 karat gold. Yep. Now, recently, not that long ago, before Christmas, out in India, there was a really big wedding season, wasn't there? Exactly, yeah. And there's there was a shift this time, for the first time in I think ever actually. Then rather than buying gold as presents, they started getting more silver for the first time, and that made the price spike a little bit as well. Back in November,
the price is going up. It's like as the price goes up, demand goes up. They didn't used to think silver is so cheap, like $20 an ounce, $30 an ounce. It's not really to give that as a gift. It's just cheap, But now it's going up. Now I can buy it for my daughter's wedding. Now I can buy it for my niece. Now it's going up. Demand is going up. People are starting thinking now it's worth buying these silver necklaces and things. Demand goes up with the price. It's incredible, isn't it? It's reverse what you think. Supply demand fundamentals. Yeah. As demand goes up, you think the price. As the price goes up, demand goes up more. It's got to go up to go up.
Of course.
As it goes up, you get a lot of wealthy people wanting to buy it now.
There you go. This is a good point. This is from I think Karen. She says every time a missile is used, it vaporizes 500 ounces of silver.
That's absolutely right. They're the
That
smart
is
bombs.
spot on. Yeah, yeah,
A
yeah.
monster box is full of tubes, 500 ounces, about 15 kilo. That is used
Bloody
up
hell.
every one of these. And you know, all the missile defenses as well, they're using up. You know, the Iron Dome and the defenses. So these missiles coming over, it's blowing up all this silver.
Yeah.
It's still on planet Earth, but it's just
all of that, like pure silver, would just
pure.
go turn to dust. And you think, wow, okay.
They're the smart bombs. But some of these torpedoes now in the submarines, right? They use thousands of ounces. It's in the batteries. You know, it's before solid state batteries, the old type batteries. Military, they don't care about cost, do they? They just need the best. So they put loads of silver in that. It's all getting blown up in training missions.
Oh yeah, I worked at BAE Systems underwater, and we was developing. Well, I can't talk about it because it was secret stuff. But some of the weapon systems we were using then, the R&D department regards batteries was still old tech, and that was back in early 2000s. But now, I'll pretty much guarantee that you're going to be using silver-based SSD batteries to run their mine clearance devices and things. Absolutely. And do you know what? This was funny. I had to mention this because I heard recently, it might have even been from yourself, but there was reports of an aeroplane, transporting silver on bulk from one country to another so they can balance their audit books because there wasn't enough available supply.
That's true. Many planes. Many. Yeah. They move it around. So there's real extreme shortages around the world now. It's just not there. And the East is trying to gobble it up. So the West, you got the London Bullion Market Association, LBMA. What they say they've got, they haven't got. Because the COMEX, Commodities Futures Exchange in America, they are short so much silver. And they asked for a load from London. And they flew it over from London and then they count it in inventory there. Right, we have got it. See, we have got it. Then they leave that in inventory and secretly fly it back to London, count it there. And this was admitted by the banker's spokesman, Jeffrey Christian, who's the speaker. He speaks for the bankers, and he let it slip. He said it came from London. He said that he said it came back to London. It was from London. It had to go to the COMEX, and now it's coming back to London. Think of the cost involved flying this silver back and forth because it's so short. Yeah, it's so short of silver now.
And we're told, you know, to save the planet, we got to use a bag for life and a little energy bulb. I mean, it's ridiculous what they're doing. They're really taking the piss with what they're doing.
The data centers now, they use up more electricity than several countries. All the data centers and the crypto miners around the world. I say just stop crypto mining. It's using up so much electricity just at the time when we got a deficit.
Yeah, I know. And I'll tell you what, there are people who want to get on board or who are just curious to see how much things are and what you can get. Maybe you used to stack a long time ago. Maybe you stopped because you can't afford it or whatever it is. But we're going to show now two websites. One of them was recommended by a friend of mine, Raf, who's probably in the chat, a place called Chard. So this is available supply right now. So we're going to just make sure, that we can see what's going on. So what I've done is I set it to the lowest price first. In stock, a 1977 Silver Jubilee Crown, £1.50, a tiny little thing. And yes, look, everything's in stock. Charts is really, really good. It does go, it says a special scheme. So I'm not sure. This one says taxable. Whether it's in stock or not, about to find out. Delivery from, book an appointment. So I'm not sure whether it's actually in stock. Oh, it does say it's in stock. Sorry, I just saw it on the top. So lots of these items on Chard's website. So just type in CHARDS UK and it will come up. So Chards are absolutely fine. Someone mentioned bullion by post because that's the first thing that comes up because they must pay a fortune to Google for advertising. So anyway,
you can buy from there. You pay a little bit more bullion by post, but it won't make much difference. In the long run, silver's going so high, it's a nice, reliable way to buy it any way you can.
I just wanted to see what the latest was regards availability because when we done a stream last time, there was lots in bullion by post that was just out of stock. So I just wanted to see. I'll set it from low to high. Just want to make sure you guys can see it. Yep, cool. So we're in luck. All of the cheap stuff in stock, in stock, in stock. 2 ounce in stock. Oh, here we go. Awaiting stock, 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 awaiting stock. So yes, they haven't got much compared to chards. So if you did want to grab some physical silver, please don't get the paper stuff. Get the physical, real stuff you can actually hold in your hand. All right.
You've got to be able to touch it yourself. If you don't hold it, you don't own it.
I've got a question. Oh, this is from my bro, John. John says, question, is it still worth buying less than, I think he means 4.9's fine. But even 3.9's fine, it's pretty much the same, isn't it? Like you said.
It's pretty much the same. 4.9's fine in 10,000 parts, 9,999 parts of silver. In 3.9's in 1,000 parts, 999 parts of silver. So the 4.9's is just a tiny bit more pure. It won't make much difference with the resale value. If you're doing medical stuff, if you're making colloidal silver and killing bacteria, then you want the really pure stuff. But from an investment point of view, 3.9's is fine.
Yeah. And also even less, so 95 sterling and even lower.
Yeah.
Anything that's got silver in it. In fact, I remember seeing on a YouTube Shorts this morning or yesterday, this guy, he went into a charity shop and he found this great big metal bowl. And I think he paid $4.99. And the whole lot was 920 silver. And it was probably about 4 ounces in weight. And he paid $4. So it's out there.
A lot of these things, the price has gone up so much lately. They haven't caught up. Silver spoons, silver necklaces, you can get some good buys about.
Yeah, too right. I'm not joking. Antique shops, charity shops, honestly, people. I remember, and this really made me mad at the time, charity shop about 10, 20 miles away from me, where I go to now and again. I went through their junk jewelry bit. And I found this really thick silver bracelet, and I reckon it probably weighed about half an ounce, maybe an ounce. It was quite heavy. And I said, and I put it on the front by the till where the person working there was. I said, oh, can you just keep an eye on that? Yeah, sure, no problem. So I carried on walking around. 10 minutes later, I go back, it's gone. The woman gone out to the back. Some guy apparently bought it off of a bloke who didn't know about me putting it down there. So he knew what it was, and he bought it. And it was what I should have done was I should have just kept it in my hand. So listen, if you get any physical silver at a car boot or a charity shop, don't make the mistake I did. Keep it in your hand, because once you've paid for it, it is now legally yours, and then you can do whatever you want with it then. But you can buy silver anywhere, can't you, mate?
Yeah, but it's getting harder. It's getting more expensive, getting harder. Demand is crazy.
It is.
Can I talk a minute about the exit strategy? What's the best exit strategy?
Yeah, go for it, mate.
You're buying, you're stacking it now. What Chris Dwayne says, who I look to as he's a brilliant expert on this, he says the ultimate exit strategy is they're either going to try and confiscate and you say, no, I've lost it, I haven't got it anymore. Or they might, the only way, if they just set a really, really, really high price and it keeps going high, they're going to tempt people to sell. But even then, do not sell. Chris Dwayne says never, ever sell your silver. It's generational wealth. You pass it to the next generation. You don't put it back into supply. You're taking silver out of available supply in the hands of the people. Don't put it back into the banker's hands. But what he says is we're forming something called bank liaison committees. And you can borrow against this. So you never sell. But what's the point of stacking it if you never sell? You're never going to benefit from it. No, you can borrow. At the moment, you can borrow 80% loan to value. There's a company called Grip in it's India, and there's another one in Singapore. I've forgotten the name of it now. There's more coming now, and I think most of the big financial institutions will do this now. You can borrow against your silver. So there is risk involved. This is why we're forming bank liaison committees. It does involve you taking a part of your silver, however much you want, maybe most of it if you like, and you'll make an appointment with the bank. You'll meet them in a security with security guards there, and they will test it. And then they will take hold of your silver temporarily. and they will lend you 80% of that. And of course, the price is going to keep going up. You know, it'll double, and you can borrow another loan. The price will be going up. Now, what the big question is, can you get it back at the end of the term? Now, this is why we're forming bank liaison committees. Together, we're stronger. Don't just go and do it on your own. They might rip you off. They might say, sorry, we've got to settle in cash. We've lost your silver. We're forming together, Chris Dwayne's leading this, bank liaison committees. Silver investors will work through us, liaise with the banks. We need absolute guarantees. Make sure you get a good deal, leasing your silver out, and make sure we do get it back. And if any one of us at any time can't get our silver back at the end of the term, and periodically take your silver back, every 6 months, every 9 months, take your silver back just to make sure that you can get your silver back. And if any one of us can't get a silver back, they'll be held to pay. We will all go and withdraw all of our silver, and we won't lend any more silver as they're so desperate for it. So we're working on bank liaison committees. The ultimate exit strategy is never sell. Borrow against your silver. The price is going to go very, very high over the next few years, maybe before that, maybe even next year. And you can, even a small amount of silver, you'll be able to borrow against it, 80% loan to value. As the price goes up, you can borrow more. You can invest in businesses, income producing property, you know, whatever you want. Make your money work hard for you, but never sell. The ultimate exit strategy, no matter how high the price goes, never, ever sell your silver. Just use it as collateral, borrow against it. I'd say never sell, but you can spend it little bits at a time. That is private and anonymous. If you can work out, you want to buy like a truck, or you want to buy a boat or a caravan or a motorcycle, you could then use this as private, anonymous. It's barter, isn't it? It's not against the law. You could swap a TV for a fridge. That's barter. No tax to pay. So you can use this as private, anonymous, decentralized money. That's the only time I'd ever let it go. If I'm buying something, goods or services with it, private, anonymous. Apart from that, never sell, borrow against it. Does that make sense?
It really does, mate. And I'm glad that that was mentioned, because you don't hear it very often of people saying, it's all well and good having all this silver and I've been sitting on it for years and it's gone up in value. Great. But at some point, I'm going to have to sell it and buy something. But the object of the exercise that we are on board with is take physical silver out of supply. Full stop. Don't take it out and put it back in again.
Good.
Take it out, keep it out. The more, if every single person watching this live stream on the replay, if every single person went out and bought 1 ounce of silver and they told their friends and they watched it and they took an ounce of silver out, all of a sudden, there's probably a couple of kilos missing from supply. And that's just one small YouTube channel like me. What if everyone who's watching this, everyone that they knew, who are friends with, family, if they told that to their friends and family as well, and they all done it? That's how things start. Every journey starts with one step. Now, I'd like to show you this, like I showed earlier. This is my silver maple coin. If I can get it to focus. Come on, you little git. Let me put the light on and it will. But anyway, this silver coin here, it cost me back in early 2020. That cost me, where is it? I've got the receipt for it. That was £23.27.
That's a good
for that 1 ounce of 4 9s fine pure maple leaf silver coin. By 2030, I reckon that is going to be worth £1,000. So when you think about it, if you've got 100 of these and you paid 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds, whatever it is, consider one of those being £1,000 a coin. Look at gold. £4,500 thereabouts. Silver has been manipulated. It's had his head held under the water for donkey's years now, and finally it's took a breath and come up to the surface, and now the price of silver is going to go through the roof. Everyone in the stock market is talking about silver right now. It's way more powerful. Bitcoin, get out of Bitcoin. it's
Going
going to
down.
go shit within 5 years, maybe a lot less actually. Silver, you've got it in your hand, nothing can change. Bitcoin's going to go up and down like a fiddler's elbow. I don't trust it. It's not real. You can't hold it. That's just me. That's my own opinion. But the thing is, real physical silver, that is going to be worth a fortune one of these days. And if you take our advice and you get as much as you can as soon as you can, you'll be so glad you did. Right, Dave?
Absolutely. There's a big transition now. People are selling crypto. They're getting out of it. Loads
Yeah,
of people
I've heard.
get out
Yeah.
of crypto, sell, get into silver. Crypto's going down, silver's going up.
Yeah, XRP, Dogecoin, Litecoin, the whole lot. People are dumping their crypto as we speak. In fact, let's have a look. It's just is insane. If I can see commodities, gains, futures, energies, let me just put CRY.
The way Chris Drain puts it, he says, get out of any paper or digital illusions of wealth and get into real wealth. Real wealth is private and anonymous.
Yeah, totally, dude. Let me just, this is a crazy, I'll tell you what, I love the app, but the desktop version is absolute pants, man. It's absolute pants. Oh, here we are. I was stuck on commodities. Here we go, cryptocurrency.
Going
Not
down.
looking good. Not looking good. Not looking good at all.
But nobody should think, oh, it's gone down. I'll wait till it goes back up again. No, it might not go up. It might not. But sell now and put it into silver because silver is going up. Crypto might just keep going down at the same rate.
Oh, yeah, silver, my mate. I'm not joking. Silver is just incredible.
You know how they've manipulated it for so long now? Basically, it's so simple. They've been selling silver they haven't got. And it makes it look like the market is flooded with silver. I think I told you before the illustration of a motorcycle. You know, I used to sell bikes when I was younger. Now, imagine I put a really nice, like, Kawasaki ZZR 600. I put it on Auto Trader, right? So I put it there, and it's really appealing bike. I put it at a good price. And every single person that contacts me, I say, yeah, I'll sell it to you if you can pay me now and pick it up later. And I did, the first guy does that. The second guy does that. I've done it to 500 people. They all think they bought my bike. Now that is, are you going to be stupid enough to think you get away with that? But that's exactly what the bankers have been doing with silver. Exactly that. And they've done it with millions.
That's a real good way of explaining it, because often people don't know, do they?
It's stupid. You're not going to get away with that. How would they ever think they're going to get away with this? What is their end game? They owe all this silver now. All these people think they've bought the motorbike. Right, like my motorcycle now, please. I paid for it. I've got the receipt. Oh, they haven't got it. They sold 500 motorcycles for every one they've got.
Exactly. Do you remember that interview that was done, I think, underneath the Bank of England in the gold vaults? Yes. And they had that guy in there. And he asked the woman in there, and I think she's the one who signs the freaking £5 notes and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was saying, well, basically what it was, all money was gold and silver. And because it was a heavy and cumbersome to carry it around, you used to put it in a bank and they gave you a bit of paper like an IOU. And that's basically all money is. It's freaking IOUs. There shouldn't be, but it changed in 1971. You know about this, don't you, Dave?
Yeah.
You should be able to get your £10 note, go into the bank on the high street, put it in there and say, I want that in gold or silver. And they wouldn't be able to do it. They used to do.
Sterling. It's a promissory note. A £10 note says, I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £10. You go into bank, slap it down on the counter. I am the bearer. I demand my £10, please. He says, I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £10. I'm the bearer. I demand £10, please. Slide it over. What will they give you? It's a broken promise, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. They're full of shit, basically, because you've got an IOU from the bank and you want to exchange it for real money because it's just a chit. It's just a paper receipt. It's just an IOU. The bank owes you £10. So you're running around with this little, I've got a chit now. All I need to do is take it to the bank and I can convert it into some gold or silver because that's what real money actually is. And they can't do it.
And that's what you're saying about in the Bank of England, that guy, Hollywood actor, he went down and he interviewed Sarah John, who signs every 5, 10, 20, and 50.
That's right.
He was
Sarah John. Yeah.
And they were surrounded by all this gold. All the silver is gone. That vault used to be half full of silver, half full of gold. The silver's all ended up on landfill over decades. The space is filled up with even more gold because it's overflowing, it's in surplus. And he asked her, why do you have to hold so much monetary precious metal? He said, talk me through it. why does the Bank of England need to hold so much of this gold? And she said, well, gold's been used as money for a long time, but what people found was it's heavy. So they bring it to the goldsmith, the bankers back then, the cunning men, and they'd issue them with a promissory note. And people found that these promissory notes are more convenient to use than lugging the gold around. And the promissory notes eventually became what we know as banknotes. Now, when you think about that, she's answering the question, why do you have to hold so much gold? And she's implying this is why we hold so much gold, because we're issuing all these promissory notes. That's deception, isn't it?
Oh, God. I'll tell you what, the amount of gold that they've got under there, if everyone brought all of their cash into that building and say, can I have this in gold instead? They would never have enough gold to pay everyone. Never.
There's trillions in supply. British pound alone, it's in the trillions now. If you count all the derivatives, all the unfunded liabilities, trillions.
Well, look at all the ETFs as well in silver.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Dollars is so many. In dollars, US dollars, I think it expands by 1 trillion every 90 days. Now, it used to be 100 days. It's gone to the supply expands by 1 trillion every 90 days. Soon it'll be 80 days. Soon it'll be every 50 days. The supply is expanded by 1 trillion. It's going to go exponential.
Quantitative easing. But look at this. I wanted to show you guys this. A £20 note, right? Okay. Now you think that's real, don't you? But look, don't be fooled.
That's good.
Keep cash alive. All right. Use cash. That ain't worth shit. It's just paper. And they're printing millions and millions and millions and millions every single day. And they haven't got enough gold and silver in supply to pay the bearer on demand. We're just passing around paper and it ain't worth
promissory notes.
It is. We should do our own promissory notes, I think, shouldn't we?
Well, I've been doing that, Funky. I've been doing my own promissory notes. Absolutely. You can.
And in fact, what we should do, I think you guys would be quite interested in this. If you want me and Dave to do another live stream about where do you start doing promissory notes and how you can actually use them and the right and the wrong ways to use them. Dave's got his there. Look, there you go.
This one. Yeah, I got it, Dan. We always wrap a £5 note around this side because they cannot refuse even part payment. So if you're doing a self-liquidating loan, it's a big subject, and I talk about this a lot. You can self-liquidate your loans with a promissory note, and if you send these two, they're both promissory notes. This is a promissory note signed by Sarah John. This is a promissory note that's signed by you. They can't refuse even part payment. So they have to accept this one, which means they've accepted this one. And if they refuse, they refuse this one, they refuse this one, and they can't refuse this one. And these are brilliant. But what I say, Funky, we have to make sure that there's no loss, harm, or injury. Only use these in situations where you're expanding the currency supply out of thin air and nobody loses anything. So if you take out a loan, an unsecured personal loan, if you ask them, have the funds been transferred to my account? And if they say yes, they'd be lying. No, they don't say that. They say the funds will appear in your account.
Yes, I know. Yeah,
I
know what you're saying.
Where did they come from? They just created out of thin air. Who created them? Was it you or the lending institution? It was you. You created them out of thin air. So you can self-liquidate that. Say you take out an unsecured personal loan for £30,000. You create 30,000. You've expanded the world's currency supply by 30,000.
Yeah.
And now you write a promissory note. I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £30,000 in the same like manner and form as would be the Bank of England at the time of payment. You sign it. You created another £30,000. You added another £30,000 to the world's currency supply, and it would have expanded by 30,000 anyway. It's expanded by.
If they set that into their bank and they balance their books, they're going to put £30,000 in their system, and then they'll give that to someone else, and then it just goes on and on and on.
Just like Sarah John creating these out of thin air, this is created out of thin air. And the beauty of this one, it says on it, I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of like £30,000 in the same like manner and form as would be the Bank of England. So the question is, how will Sarah John fulfill this promise? Because however
you backed him into a corner, aren't you?
We do it in the same way, yeah. No one can answer that question. I promise to pay the bearer on demand the sum of £5. How will she fulfill it? However she fulfills that promise, we'll fulfill ours in the same way.
Yeah, we just print our own, print some more, like they do. We're just basically doing the same as them.
It calls out the fraud. The whole system is fraudulent, and using these calls out the fraud. And we want the banks to collapse. We want the fraud to end, go back to honest money. This is honest money. This is people's money.
I could pay my council tax for that, can I?
I don't know about council tax. There's certain things, you know, say, for an example, there's lots of examples. If a builder comes and does work for you, you can't pay him, and there'd be loss, harm, or injury, wouldn't there? I think there's better ways dealing with council tax. But with self-liquidating loans, you just create the funds out of thin air. There's no loss, harm, or injury. Yeah, so it's got to be a situation where you stay in honour. There's nobody loses anything.
You can get a promissory note. You can get a loan for 30 grand to go and buy the car, sell the car, get the cash, go and buy some physical silver, and you just created some silver out of thin air, just like the banks create money out of thin air. It's the
nobody's lost anything. Exactly, and there's no loss. The finance company, the bank, they don't lose 30,000. You created 30,000 out of thin air. You just added that to the currency supply. There's no loss.
Yeah,
as long as you do it
we're all miniature quantitative easers in a big system.
Exactly, that's the way to put it. We can do quantitative easing.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, guys, me and Dave will definitely be doing something like this in the near future. All things promissory notes. It'll be a good live stream, and I don't think as many people as I would hope understand fully about the concept of this. But it's literally playing them at their own game. Rather than losing, we are going to start to win, and that's what we need to do. I'm sick and tired of losing under the current system. It's geared up for us to fail. And people are waking up and thinking, no more. Time I stood up and started doing what I need to do. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that, mate, with information like this. So if you can, guys, please share the link to this video on WhatsApp, Facebook, X, all of the rest of it. The more people that watch this, hopefully more people will start buying real physical silver. And if you want to get some gold backs as well, use cash, keep cash alive, don't be fooled. So what I've done is I've put a link to Dave's YouTube channel underneath this video in the description box. So if you want daily videos or updates, because let's face it, this silver market is absolutely all over the place right now. And things are going to change. So the more that we keep up to speed, the more we can spread our wealth and we can manage our finances more. In the hope that we don't end up in a gutter, piss poor, eating stale bread, which no one wants to do. So that's it from me, Dave. Is there any last words that you want to leave the community, mate?
Thank you, Funky. Just take silver out of available supply. Stop the cunning men trashing it away in industry.
Oh, spoken like a boss. Absolutely bloody brilliant, mate. So that's it from us, you guys. Like I said, Dave's link to his YouTube channel is underneath this video, and I'm going to pin it in the comment in about 10 minutes. And that's it from us. So you guys take care. Love from Dave and myself. Thanks for watching, and stay funky.
I'd buy that.